All right. Sitting around being a little confused as to what to make a tool review about, I thought about my fans. No, not these, my actual fans, you guys on YouTube. But the word fan and fan are the exact same. They're even spelled the same, which drew me to the fact that I have fans. And my fans might want to see my fans. God, I'm corny. So, I think that comes from being a father, so I won't apologize for it. And these are the Hart fan. I think it's the Very Cool Guys or Very Cool Gang VCG YouTube channel. They like to say it's offerings. The offerings from Hart include a fan, like a lot of companies are including a fan now. These fans, in my opinion, are pretty good. I've had them through the entire summer this year. I bought them last year at the end of the heat. I gave my Milwaukee fan to my father, and I regret it. The Milwaukee job site fan that I believe I've made a video on. If I can't now, it's probably too late. These fans, however, and I bought two. I may buy more. I've used them camping in my van to go to the beach, and they have. What I do is I run the. It's a caravan, but I've painted the windows in the back black all over because caravans identify as a truck. I can do that. Not illegal in North Carolina. Never had a problem. So while the comments may blow up about that, I sleep in there. And I run the air condition for maybe an hour or two, and I let the air get cold at the front where it's blowing. And I have these kind of sort of adjacent to the hole in between the seats, but one on either side, and it kind of pulls the cold air in and blows them to the back. And I did at one point have the job site fan while I still had these, and I had the job site fan at the back, blowing it back up and over, and it had a nice circulation going. Since I've gotten rid of the job site fan, trying to be nice to my father, not because I didn't like the job site fan from Milwaukee, they actually function exactly the same, even without the air circulating at the top from the fan that should be there. It cooled down the fan really quick, the van really quickly, and then the rest of the night I was able to sleep on and off, hearing the ocean and relaxing, knowing that the fans were blowing on me and I was not as hot and uncomfortable as I was going to be in the summer heat as soon as morning came. In the morning, soon as sun's up, though, being a van lifer and a mountain biker, I like to enjoy the day when the sun is up. So once the sun started peeking up and I could see it cracking through the visor shade cover over the window, I knew it was time for me to get out, get my mountain bike, and trail ride down to one of the nearest beaches and watch the sunrise start to come up over the ocean. And I've done that a numerous number of times, enjoying, just absolutely enjoying camping in my van because of these fans to help making that incredibly humid summer night turn into a relaxing, cooling sleeping experience. And I'm not trying to advertise these for camping specifically, but they were okay. Although they lack the 3, the 4, the 5 speed settings that a lot of them have, they have 1 and 2, and some people would call off a setting. I don't. But I have 2 of them, and I've enjoyed both of them. They have holes where you can mount them, and you can mount them permanently or impermanently. You can mount them like this or whatever, and they do flex like all of the rest of them. There's definitely nothing superior to these fans. They don't even have a plug spot, so you cannot, let me express that very cautiously, you cannot plug these into a wall outlet under any circumstances. You could be a techie and convert a battery pack into a wired adapter. And I would put a converter in there to convert the power from AC to DC before doing this. That idea is entirely yours. I'm just saying it from an intelligent design personality that I've thought about doing similar things for other things, other products that do certain things, and I'm telling you right now that that is your idea. I'm not putting it in your head because you're talking about sacrificing a battery, adding a wire, plugging it into your house or whatever, and potentially having to adapt the power to keep from frying it. So with all of that hard work, just buy one of the slightly more expensive ones that just work and have a adapter hole where you can plug in a cord or a cable or an extension cord. There's plenty of them that do. I don't really know that these are that much cheaper, but they are fairly cheap. And if you already have the Hart platform, you're not hurting to buy a job site fan from Hart. But the Tool Bear, he advertises a consumer, prosumer, and professional level tools. I would say this is consumer level tools because they were cheap and they don't have all those flexibilities that you may need on a job site. And fans kind of don't hit a professional level because you don't just need a fan that badly. If you do, you're going to get a big industrial fan to like blow down your freshly drywalled hallway, or the LP gas heated fan blowers that blow, for people that do drywall, you're not going to use this. You're going to use something much bigger. But you're not going to use a Milwaukee job site fan either. You're going to use an actual industrial sized high powered fan that may even have LP gas and heat going through it. These are a product that tends not to fail, tend to not disappoint, but it did disappoint when the batteries died. Now, I had three batteries. They're big batteries. They're nice batteries. I had a fourth battery that somehow went missing almost immediately coming home from Walmart. And it's almost like I had left it in the van and it wasn't in the van. Don't know what happened to that. I don't care what happened to that anymore. It's been a while. And I've moved on with my life. But the the use of it works. If you have a battery and you stick it on, it runs till the battery is dead. And I have had them with a fresh charge run overnight, 6.5 to 8 hours, and not die. I've not seen one run 9 hours. I've not seen one run 10 hours, and I've not sat there with my phone and timed it either. But they do run, and they run really well. And if you have three or four batteries and you're just running one fan, you're not going to sit there and have an outage and the batteries go dead and go, well, damn, I've had no other batteries. I've had no other chances to charge anything. I am just out. Because you can constantly charge your batteries while you have a battery in the fan. It would work just fine. In my theory, you would not be out to buy a fan like this and three or four batteries if you knew that you needed to keep it running nonstop 2 or 3 days. But the back is pretty simple. It only seems to be utilizing two pins, and it has the left side load drill battery installation. Milwaukee's is underneath from the front. You never actually have to look at the back of the fan. This one that you do, but they have a much sleeker design here, and it runs fairly well. It does do indoor use only on the sticker, but I will argue that it has been outside at a flea market running for someone who's borrowed it, and it ran very well for 6 hours straight in the middle of the dead summer heat. And matter of fact, people that came up doing the yard sale wanted to buy the fans. They were told quite crossly, no. But you're more than welcome to go buy one at Walmart because these are ours. Which they weren't ours, they were mine, and the person that had them were borrowing them. I wasn't at the flea market. I heard all of this in amazement. People were just that interested in my battery powered fans, and it's like this is consumer level. Like if you walk through Walmart, you'll see it. No one's ever commented like that on my Milwaukee job site fan, and it's Milwaukee. So Be that as it may, it has turned some heads. People have been interested in them. They have not failed me, except for the fact that they're battery only. And for camping, they have been everything that I've needed. They've not disappointed me, even without the Milwaukee job site fan assisting. The battery packs are a little on the expensive side, but a lot of battery packs are. These are probably between $50 and $100 cheaper than other fans, just because you're buying name brand and having to special order it and even drive all the way to Charlotte, 2.5 hours away to pick it up. These There's a store like 40 minutes away that sells these. 30 minutes away that sells these. I've actually tried to get a Bauer fan at one point, and then I went through hell with my Bauer drills and decided, you know what? No. But I haven't even seen a Bauer fan, and I haven't seen a Hercules job site fan either. I have Hercules batteries for when I get a Hercules job site fan, and just can't fucking find one. I even tried to Google Amazon and other places to see if I could find one for sale somewhere secondhand. Maybe someone died and someone's like, well, I don't want all of Grandpa's shit. No, I can't find these anywhere. So when I find one, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to do a review, but I'm going to fucking buy it because I really want some more fans with different battery platforms because I don't like Hart. To me, Hart is just a replacement of Hyper Tough, and Hyper Tough. I mean, I had their weed eater, I had their leaf blower, I had their drill, I had their sawzall. They're not great. They're good. They're not great. That's not what this video is about. The video is about Hart's job site fan offering, and I do want to mention that they're 20 volt. Okay. There's a bit of a discrepancy here, and I'm sure other tool guys have told y'all, in case you haven't known, the discrepancy between an 18 volt system and a 20 volt system is someone's lying. We don't know who, we don't know which one, we don't know which one's right, we don't know which one's wrong, because there is something on my face. I'm casually trying to avoid it, but it's there. Okay, well, y'all overlook me looking ugly, because that'll wash off or something. A 20 volt system and an 18 volt system is the same system. It's the same volt system, it's the same voltage. Somebody is either reading the battery supplied power or the output power, something inside the transistor. It's been said numerous times 18 and 20 volt is the exact same thing, and I believe them. I have ran a 12 volt Milwaukee system and had just as much power as a 20 volt system. I have seen a 24 volt system. Now that would be different than a 20 volt system or an 18 volt system. But the 18 and the 20 is the same thing. They're marketing them differently, and they have their battery packs that are, for that brand, but that brand usually doesn't offer 18 and 20 volt products. It has one product one way or the other. And the reason why is because it's the same thing. So if I say this is 20 volt, I don't mean that it's better than an 18 volt. It's just that Hart is choosing to list their batteries as 20 volts. And they're choosing to list their products as 20 volts instead of 18. Don't let that fool you. It's the same. I'm not trying to say that those companies are liars. I'm saying someone's a liar, and we don't know who. We don't know if it's the 18s or the 20s that are lying. It's more of a matter of opinion. And it probably goes both ways, which is why I'm not saying that 20 is a lie and that everything's 18, and I'm not saying 18 is a lie and everything's 20. Surely it would be more beneficial to lie upwards than to lie downwards, but it's not that important to hear that it's 20 volt or 18 volt. That's my purpose for saying that. It is labeled a 20 volt system, but it's not that important. Okay? They do use pretty standard Hart drill batteries, okay, and it can handle most any size that can be plugged in, and it does have the advantage of the drill battery being on the back, because in my job site video fan, if I had an oversized 12.0 volt battery, the actual fan had to be lifted up and was sitting on the battery, which was not in, not supporting the entire fan. And even though it never fell down that way, if I had it on an angled surface, it would have been a problem. Whereas these have the mount from the back, and that back mounting is just better for that reason. It allows the entire fan to sit sturdy. And I want to give them a 4 out of 5. I can't. My rating system goes from 0 to 5, 1 star through 5 stars. You'll probably never see a 0 star, and you're not going to find a 5 star, because I don't want to be convicted of favoritism in any way. Even my Milwaukee videos, nothing gets 5, and tools can't be perfect. What would make this better is if you had some more, even higher powered options than the 1 and 2. And it would be cool if it was more of a dial than a switch. There's plenty of dials where you go snack, 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 and then there's a couple that you just straight up dial in, and you have every bit of the option in the potentiometer switch, for the layman's term. But these just have the 2 on the rocker switch here, and they work. They work really good. They work reliably. So I'd give them 4 out of 5 for that. But the design is flawed, like everything, and because of that, I do believe they could do better, or at least they could appease my opinion of what better is. And of course, it's not all about me, so some people may buy this and not have a single complaint whatsoever. And if you do, good for you. You found your product. I know a girl right now, God bless her if she ever watches my videos, but she, hands down, she considers herself a mechanic. She considers herself a racer and an underground car girl. And I don't want to say she's really just a car whore, but she's not a mechanic. She doesn't actually own her own sports car. She's never actually fixed her own vehicle. And the last time I saw her, she was panicking in a Walmart parking lot because one of her radiator hoses sprung a leak. Then I went to the garden section, got her a garden hose, and bought the garden hose and cut either end of it off and cut a small section off and shoved on where it needed to be for her, so she could get home, because Walmart was closing in 10 minutes. Everything else had already closed. All the car parts places had already closed. She had no friends or family that was willing to come and get her, and the car needed to go back to who she borrowed it from. So I more or less rescued her from that bad situation. I told her, I said, fill it up, drive it home with some common sense, and park it till you can get the hose, because the heat may make this one really soft, and it may get a hole too eventually. Get an actual car radiator hose, please, but go now. And that was the last time I've spoke with her. She swore by Hart up and down that apparently they had a representative in Walmart and they were drilling holes in things, and it was just the greatest thing ever. I don't have that experience because I usually don't buy cheap, but fans can be cheap. Fans can be really good even when they're cheap. I've bought an $8 box fan from Dollar General, and it worked just fine. If you're looking for your first job site fan, I would not buy Hart, because you're looking a job site fan. But if you're just looking for a portable fan to go fishing, to go to the beach with, to go camping with, around the house in a room that you can't put in an air conditioner, maybe in the bathroom temporarily until you get that heating vent unit in the ceiling fixed so that you can have your humid hot showers, run this to vent the moisture in the air out into the hallways, and run your air conditioning in the other rooms. It'll pull the moisture out of the rooms that are down the hallway, and it'll prevent the moisture from sitting on the roof and causing mold in the ceiling of your bathroom while you're having a hot shower. There's many uses for these things, but it only gets 4 out of 5, and for the reason of the rocker switch and potentially not being a dial and them not having the auxiliary battery applications and functions. but it's a good fan, and I've been very pleased to have these. And I feel for the purposes of what they do them very well, and for the price that they've had on them so far, they do them very well, very cost effective. The batteries, because they're flexible and you have to buy them separately of everything, the batteries are not cost effective, but because they're so pliable, it depends what you're buying them for, how much you're going to use them, whether or not you're getting your money out of them, or if you're just looking to use them. Like, I wouldn't get my money out of a battery I've bought for this. But if I'm buying an entire tool set and I'm going to work at a construction site and Hart tools actually are good, I don't know, then the battery might be worth the money. But the batteries are like $100 and something, which makes these really inefficient financially. It's the fan that's cheap. If you run across a battery somewhere and you get it for free, then it's great. I'm not tool reviewing the battery. I'm not tool reviewing the line. I'm just tool reviewing the fan. If you don't want to spend $300 for an air conditioner, but you have 150, go for the fan. Why not? But if you manage to get your hands on $150, you could just as easily buy an air conditioner in a few days when you get the other $150. I'm assuming that what you would use this for is a situation where you couldn't mount an air conditioner. Anyway, I have to go deal with that wild cat. Have a great day and be safe out there.